Chief Nig, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance? If you could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I call this meeting to order at 6:48.
Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Duff.
Councilmember Cash.
Present, sir.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Lau.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Crosby.
Here.
Mayor Hepburn.
Here. Let's see. We have an introduction, don't we, tonight?
Mayor.
We saved the best for last, huh? We went through all the kids, and now we have a new fire marshal. Deputy Chief, excuse me.
Don't worry, he's buying the first rounds now.
You know, after 30 kids, you're just going to get worn out, but you're going to wear all of the hats. There you go. That'll be one of many. Well, Brandon was appointed on, now this I don't get, October 3rd, 2022. I don't think that, is that when you're going to be appointed? Today. His primary responsibility will be operations. He has 26 years of experience, most really serving as a Deputy Fire Chief of Operations in the Orange County area and serving as the California Fire Chiefs Association Operations Section President. Now the rap sheet. When he got out of prison, oh, excuse me, that's the wrong one. Sorry. No. Brandon Coatney began his career with San Bernardino Fire Department in 1997. In 2015, he transferred laterally as a captain to the Fullerton Fire Department, where he was promoted to battalion chief in 2016, then to division chief of training in 2018. During this time, he was also president of the Orange County Fire Chiefs Association Training Section. In 2020, he promoted to deputy chief operations and became president of the Orange County Fire Chiefs Association Operations Section. For 22-23, he will also be the California Fire Chiefs Association's Operations Section President. Congratulations again. Brandon is joined tonight by his wife of 23 years, Barbara, his children, Bren and Bryce, and his parents, Earl and Lauren Coatney. Barbara is a nurse and the Director of Education at Riverside County Hospital. Bren is 22 and recently became an ICU nurse at Riverside Community Hospital. I have an infinity of nurses. I have 5 in my family, including my wife, so my hat goes off to you guys. You married well, and you had wonderful children. Bryce is 20 and recently became a probationary firefighter here in Laverne after serving as one of our first ambulance operators in our new program. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to the family. Welcome to Laverne. Chief, you got a few words. Oh. I think someone's going to pin her husband. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you.
You've done this before.
Congratulations.
I'm extraordinarily excited this evening. As Laverne Fire has obviously rebuilt itself over the last year, we continue now as we move forward and continue to build this department by attracting extraordinary talent. Chief Coatney comes to us with an exceptional amount of experience and expertise, unparalleled, quite frankly, in the industry. So I've worked with Chief Coatney for several years at San Bernardino City and at Fullerton. When we put this process out there, I was very hopeful that he would put in and come join us up here at Laverne, and I'm very, very thankful that you did put in for it. Our department is going to be extraordinarily better than it already is right now because the level of training and operations and tactics that you're going to bring to us is going to put us in a whole nother level as we look to expand our horizons at the county and state level. So congratulations. Very excited to have you as my second in command. Very honored to have you as my second in command. So I look forward to the future.
I just want to say that, Chief Nig, that you said when you came on that you were going to rebuild this, the fire department for our city, and I just want to welcome you, Deputy Fire Marshal Brandon, Cody, Fire Chief. I'm not going to get that right. One of these days I'll get it right, you know. It's those kids, they suck the energy out of me. We're excited to have you, but it's truly a testament to Chief Nig and bringing all these people on and reorganizing this and really making Laverne one of the premier fire departments in the whole San Gabriel Valley, if not the state. And with our ambulance program and all of our firefighters and our new programs, we are excited, and they're all right here with us. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Congratulations, firefighters. We love you to death. Our new BC, Dominic, and again, welcome to the family. And I promise I'll get his title right. I'll be here for a few years. So, but congratulations, and we're just excited that we're going to have great coverage for our community, for us to keep our residents safe, and really watch our community closely, and give services to other cities at a cost, but whatever. That's another issue. Thank you very much, Chief.
Family pictures.
Yes, pictures, please.
Take a break.
Oh, that's right. Old habit.
If you guys would like to exit, I know this is exciting business. I know we have half the fire department here. If you guys would like to go, we'd appreciate it. But we want to keep our community safe, too, at the same time. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Oh, that was his name. Okay, where are we? With that announcement, Sherry Best, I think you have an announcement to make right now. This is anybody wants to make an announcement that's something happening in the community? Come on up.
Several things.
Does she?
Okay, we're back. And on the 10th of October, that's a week from tonight, at Hillcrest Retirement Community, starting at 4 p.m., we have a presentation entitled Dia de los Muertos, a time for honoring and sharing. It is being presented by Roberta Martinez, who will discuss the history and customary core practices associated with this day of remembrance and joyful celebration of families and friends of loved ones who have died. I'm really looking forward to this. Our site will feature an ofrenda or an altar, and the parts of the ofrenda will be discussed and their purpose will be described. And I think this will be very educational. It is free, it is open to the public, and families are encouraged to attend. So bring children. So it's at 4 o'clock, And because it's at Hillcrest, people need to check in with the door, and they have to adhere to verification of vaccination and then any kind of masking and other kinds of requirements that Hillcrest requires, because we do that to keep our seniors safe. So that's on the 10th. I would also like to announce that on the 15th, on Saturday, the Laverne Historical Society is sponsoring a visit to the Cheech Marin Museum of Chicano Art and Culture. This just opened very recently, and so we're very excited. We have a block of 20 tickets, and we're going to have a docent-led tour. So if you're interested in signing up for that, you need to get in touch with me so I can put you on the reserved list, and give you the parameters of that trip. We have a lot of other things scheduled, which I'll bring up other times, but I do want to report that the 1938 International is back at Bonita High School, and we have entered it in the November 19th car show. So you're going to see the truck there at the car show, and hopefully some of the kids from the shop class are going to be talking about the work that they're doing to make the truck beautiful and functional again. So with that, we're off for a great year of activities with the Historical Society. If you would please take one of these, pass them around, and then JR, do you mind putting the rest on the table? There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sherry. Someone else wish on announcements? Leah.
Yes, Wednesday, October 19th, the Chamber will be hosting the 23rd Annual Taste of Laverne Food Festival. It will be held once again at Coastal Helicopter Hangar at Brackett Field Airport. The event will be followed by our 3rd Annual Restaurant Week. That runs Thursday the 20th through Sunday the 23rd, where all your favorite restaurants will be offering special menus at special prices. You can purchase tickets and find out all the information at tasteoflaverne.com.
Thank you, Leah. Danita.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. I just wanted to let the residents know, and also anybody else who watches the video, Pomona Fairplex will be hosting the Oktoberfest. It is on weekends, so October 7th, general admission is $18.50. October 8th, 14, 15, and the 21st, at general admission is $22. The time is from 6 to 11 p.m. They're going to be serving authentic German food, Bavarian music, and of course beer. So just want to let everybody know that that event is taking place. Thank you.
The magic word, beer. Thank you. Anybody else have any announcements? Then we will move to the consent calendar. Did we have anything pulled, Mr. Duff? No. Any questions from council on anything on the consent calendar? With that, I'll accept the motion.
Motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Vote, please. Just checking. Let's wait. Hold on to it.
And that passed 5-0.
Thank you, JR. We move to other matters. I've got it right here. Thank you. I lost my papers and all the shuffle with all the kids and our new employee. Other matters. Item number 7. Mr. Duff.
Yes, the staff report will be given by Candace Bocock, Principal Planner.
Sounds like a drawbridge.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members.
It's a little more sensitive.
Oh, okay. So at the City Council meeting held on February 22nd this year, staff presented the Small Business Rescue Grant Program using a portion of the city's allocation of the American Rescue Plan Act funds, which we're going to call ARPA. A total amount of $599,339 has been spent to date, leaving a balance of about $400,000 unspent. The Chamber has advertised on multiple platforms to businesses and have been reaching out to businesses personally To be sure, everyone who may need help has been notified. At this point in the program, the number of applications being submitted has drastically diminished. This is why staff and the Chamber of Commerce are asking the City Council to approve some changes to the guidelines to spend up to $100,000 on an expanded program and closing the program at about a total spent of $700,000, assuming the $100,000 is fully spent. The changes that are being proposed require that the business applying for the grant would have to have been mandated to shut down during the COVID-19 pandemic, does not exceed a maximum of 50 full-time or part-time equivalent employees, and submit the application on or before December 1st, 2022. The revised red line version of the guidelines can be reviewed in more detail as Attachment A to this report. If these changes are approved tonight, this will leave about $300,000 unused to fund another very urgent and important project, the Fire Station 1 Gender Compliance Project. As the fire service continues to expand its diversity, equity, and inclusion, it remains a top priority for the Laverne Fire Department to ensure that they are prepared for anyone seeking to join the ranks. Currently, Fire Station 1, which also serves the city's Emergency Operations Center, does not provide restroom equality for fire department personnel or anyone utilizing the EOC for training. Having just hired the department's first full-time female, this is an urgent matter that needs to be addressed immediately. When staff first learned of this deficit, the first thought was to use community development block grant money. However, after contacting the Los Angeles County Department Authority and months of work, it was ultimately denied. This left staff urgently looking for funding elsewhere. Considering the lack of OSHA gender-compliant bathrooms and dorm area privacy leaves the city vulnerable to liability and lack of equality for all of those who use the facility. As part of the project, this would open up the opportunity to construct a much-needed workspace for the new deputy fire chief, as well as captain's workspace among the upstairs crew quarters. If the City Council approves the transfer of funds for about $300,000 to the Fire Station 1 Gender Compliance Project, that project will return back before the City Council at a later date for your review, as well as the potential need for any supplemental funding. Staff recommends that the City Council approve the update to the Small Business Rescue Program and that the reallocation of the remaining unused ARPA funds after the close of the program on December 1st, 2022. The staff report has an error that says 2002. It should be 2022. Reallocating that money to the Fire Station 1 Gender Compliance Project. I'm available if you have any questions. Leah from the Chamber of Commerce is here if you have any questions of her. And, of course, Fire Chief Chris Nigg is also available if you have any questions about that specific project. Thank you.
Before we go to public comment, any questions for staff, council? It's time for a new one.
I just want to have a clarifying question for our council. I previously recused myself when it was related to the SBDC and at ULV and the chamber putting forth the program, but since we are talking about allocation of funds after the program has been approved, I want to make sure that I'm okay, but if I'm not, I will recuse myself.
You are okay. It's not your conflict, their contract that's being discussed and decided.
Thank you. Appreciate the clarification.
Anyone else before we open up public comment?
Has there ever been a time? I just want, how much does it cost to build a new fire station? I know.
A lot. Thank you, Ms. Pocock.
That's all.
We may be calling you back up. We're going to go to open public comment right now. Do we have any public comment on this matter? Anybody online? That would be, tell me when you're ready, Jared. Nothing? We're going to close public comment, bring it up to the dais. Council, any comments before we vote on this item?
I think it's a great idea to repurpose those funds. It's something that we need desperately. Thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
I just want to thank Ms. Bocock and Chief Nigg for answering my questions today, especially about this. And Chief, right when you came on, you brought this to our attention, right away that we need to make sure that we're updated, and so that we can hire the best candidate, no matter who they are. So really appreciate you doing that. And Cash, I know $300,000 is probably not enough to even do a bathroom. So in today's, especially with all OSHA laws and stuff that we have to abide by. So we will get there. Thank you.
I want to first thank Leah also for bringing this up, and I know she brought it to the city because there were some businesses that are some of the pillars of our community that were kind of stuck and they could not get help, and also to staff, Director Scheer and Chief Nig. I think this is brilliant. It's using funds that, and we've pushed this thing with our business assistance grant multiple times. I've done Minute with the Mayor. We've all pushed it. I think it's been extremely successful. I appreciate the partnership with the University of Laverne. It was probably just about perfect is actually what it was. And you guys worked hard for these people. I know there were issues with some of the applicants and didn't quite have their stuff together. You helped them to push these things through, and I really appreciate that because these businesses needed it. And I saw those audited demands, and $10,000 is a lot of money for a small business to really help them. But again, great plan. We're going to repurpose the money. I think it's great for the fire department, just like Mr. Crosby said. We can hire people. We can offer those facilities properly for the new hirees. So with that, I would take a motion.
I move that we approve staff's recommendation to approve the updates to the Small Business Rescue Program, and the City Council approve the reallocation of the remaining unused Small Business Rescue Program ARPA funds, approximately $300,000 after the close of the program on December 1, 2022, to the Fire Station 1 Gender Compliance Project.
Second.
Vote, please.
And that passed 5-0.
Very good. Congratulations. We move forward. Thank you, Leah. We move on to public comments, oral communications. Ms. Beauchamp, if you just state your name and your address, please, as you come up.
Well, you guys don't have that memorized? Danita Beauchamp, 2516 Amherst. 2 meetings ago, when the Pomona Fairplex project was discussed, I made a comment about how it was the first time I had heard of it. Councilmember Lau made a comment of how she had mentioned it back on the August 15th meeting. So one, I owe her an apology. But two, I would like to state that if a council member finds something important enough to make it in their final comments of the meeting, granted it's not something that has already taken place, that it should be listed on the city's website so that residents can, there's times where people are speaking, the meeting's kind of winding down and people start talking and you don't always hear clearly, which is something that JR and I have been discussing, and thank you for increasing the volume. But I obviously did not hear you, so I apologize for that. And it's something that was just way too important. So I think from going forward, it wouldn't be too much trouble to add it to the website for the residents to know. Secondly, I sat on the opposite side of the room today to get a different perspective. And I have to say I'm extremely disappointed because this entire half of the room cannot see the American flag. You cannot truly pledge allegiance when you cannot make eye contact with the flag. So I'm proposing that the council please move the American flag to where the city flag is, since we do not pledge allegiance to that flag, so that everyone in the room has a straight view to the American flag. And with that said, for us patriots, true patriots, I would like to thank the city as well as Public Works for installing the much needed new brighter light on the American flag that shines outside in the evening just outside the city chambers. It is so nice to drive by late night, Friday or Saturday, when you're going to In-N-Out, and you see the light shining on the flag.
You just gave away your secret.
Yeah. Those late SC games, you get hungry. But anyway, seriously, though, I have a lot of military in my family, and shining a light on the American flag at night is very important. I don't know if people really realize how important it is, and I get emotional when I talk about the American flag. So I really do appreciate everyone who was involved with making that happen. I know Mr. Rusty was still here at that time and spoke with Sean, but whoever was actually doing it, it means a lot to me and other people who spoke on that issue. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Danita. Anyone else? Mr. Ivy, you have the mic, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to the City Council, Mr. Mayor, and JR. Good to see you too, Bob, and the audience. Thank you. One thing I want to talk about is the Three Valleys Municipal Water District. And let me tell you about my background a little bit. I've had a little bit of experience in water, and I was the interim general manager of the Metropolitan Water District, the largest water wholesaler in the nation. And so I've been experienced and had the experience to work in the White House, along with the Department of Interior and the state of California, up and down the state. And I need you to understand that despite politics, you got to forget about politics, we're in a serious, serious situation, very serious on the water supply. And you need somebody who has the experience, that knows how to have a dialogue, to be accepted into meetings by name, be called by people by name, and to be entered into the inner circles of the water industry throughout the United States and California and locally, to be able to represent our interest in the water field. We are going to be slashed. You think we've been dealing with problems now? You haven't seen anything yet. It's going to get very, very serious. In Australia, they had to be cut to 64 gallons a day for a whole family. That's how severe their crisis was with the drought. Next year's drought's going to be worse than you ever seen this year. The snow is not coming. And so what I'm asking is that you give careful consideration to a Laverne resident who has the experience to move forward with the water, to carry our water, so to speak, so that we are represented in this city by someone who knows what they're talking about. It's great to bring new blood into the city and new ideas into the water industry, and I'm an example of that. When I was a young little tyke from Compton and Metropolitan, I wanted to enter it too. But it took me 45 years to really understand water. And any new person you bring in, no matter their education and their fervor for wanting to learn, they're not going to know it in time to be potent with their arguments with the people who make a difference with our water issue. So I'm asking that you consider Mr. Brian Bocock as to continue the work that he's done for us. The reason we're not in the severe water crisis in Laverne that we could have been is because Bocock was able to make decisions when he was with the city, and now that he's with the Three Valleys Board, on how to make the water flow and to be here for our city. So the only problem that I have, and I just want to bring this up, and I thank all of you, and I thank you, Mr. Mayor, we've worked really great on that young youth camp up in the mountain. But I do want you to understand that a lot of people in my neighborhood think that the Minute with the Mayor is a city-sanctioned site. And I don't think it is, but with that, if they're thinking it, when they see stuff on there about the individual from Claremont wanting to be the water person, they're getting a little bit confused, saying, oh, the city wants this other guy to be there. So I don't think that was the intent, or that's not the intent, that you're representing the city with that. But I just want to make sure for the record that that is clarified, that that is not a city official website endorsing a candidate that is not a Laverne resident. So again, I just want to close because as I recall with your campaigns, you all said we're here to support the citizens, the businesses, and the education of Laverne residents. And you have a highly capable person who's a Laverne resident that needs your consideration to consider to continue our legacy of great water supply for the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ivy. Anyone else? Anybody on the phone? Then we're going to close public comment and bring up the dais. Council comments. Councilmember Lau, would you like to start?
Sure. Welcome to my favorite month of the year, and it's not because it's my birthday month, but it may or may not have something to do with it. But I just a couple of events coming up that I wanted to bring up just to remind folks of. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so it's really important. I know many of us in here probably know someone, may have personally experienced cancer in our lives, and it is really helpful to do the preventive measures to take care of yourselves and take care of your family. So go get your mammograms, make your doctor's appointments, do all the things that you need to do. A couple things next. What's the 11th? Whatever day the 11th is, I can't. It's Tuesday. Thank you. The Active Transportation Committee is meeting at 5 p.m. So if anyone is interested, please feel free to attend. And then next Saturday is chock full of things. We have trunk or treat. We have the beer walk. And the University of Laverne is hosting their homecoming. So even if you decide not to go to any of these very, very fun things that are happening on Saturday, just be aware that these things are happening within our city, and it may affect your travel, it may affect traffic in certain areas, so just be cognizant of that.
That's Saturday the 15th.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And on the 19th, the Tri-City Mental Health will be having a meeting at 5 p.m. as well, and that will be via Zoom. So the one that you always hear me talk about as well, blood drive. If you are willing and able, there is a blood drive at the University of Laverne on October 24th. You can sign up at the Red Cross site, or you can go down to the university and sign up there as well. And then last but not least, on the 25th, YFAC is having a meeting at 6:30 p.m. So as always, have a wonderful Halloween. I can't wait to see all of your costumes and your houses decorated, because I do think our city does a fantastic job of decorating. So have a good week, have a good month, and be kind.
Councilmember Crosby.
Thank you, Mayor. This past week, I had the privilege to go and talk to residents at the Twin Oaks Mobile Home Estates and share any news of the city and listen to their concerns. And then went to the Casitas Mobile Home Estates, and the residents of the Casitas are very concerned about their homes and their situation upcoming in from 2027. I do encourage any council members, if they want to go and visit them, they are there, open arms to be heard. And it was a very pleasant night on Thursday night. I'm going to be going to the Foothill Terrace this Friday as well. Just trying to make sure to get out there and listen to our residents. October is busy. That October 15th, Saturday, it's going to be a packed house, and especially downtown Laverne, with all the great events. So be careful, especially on that beer walk. Make sure that you are walking or have a designated driver as well. So, but have fun. And we will meet before our Halloween visit, so we'll talk about that then. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Johnson.
Just glad to be here tonight. We had a really nice trip to Catalina this past weekend.
What'd you catch?
Nothing.
It was a lobster trip. And we caught one that was about that had to let it go.
That's actually, what do they call those? Sand dabs or whatever
like
that thing
shrimp.
is? Yeah,
Yeah.
shrimp. Hey, it's the trip and being with your wife.
It was a fun trip. This week, the 15th, that weekend is going to be a nice weekend here in town. Plan to be here for that and enjoy it.
Thank you, Councilmember Johnson. Councilmember Cash.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. I really appreciate you as we enter this month of breast cancer awareness. I did lose my mother to cancer 5 years ago, this October 21st. And just a reminder, please, just take care of yourself. It's very important to me at home. And it's a tough time always for me during this time of the month. However, we continue to do good and we take care of one another. Please take a moment to also to the fire department. They have in the breast cancer awareness, the Firefighter Association and the Police Officers Association are having that. So please take a moment to support our community with wearing the amazing shirts that they have. I'll be out there for sure getting some for my family. I went and got information on Narcan to be distributed. I talked to the Unified School District to get to work on a grant for them through the state to be able to pass that out. And of course, I gave some to our city manager. Can you guys hear me? Because I feel like I'm screaming in this thing. Okay. I guess since our city manager, hopefully pass it out to our fire chief and police chief, take a look at it. It's 2,100 units. It's a grant through the state to be able to pass that out. You look, if we need it, let's have it ready. I always like to be proactive. Another thing I am working on also is for our youth sports. We had an incident a few weeks ago. I won't get too much into detail on that, but it brought up something that I've had lots of extensive training on is medical response. And it was for an AED, for a defibrillator for our kids. I'm trying to see if I can get a state grant to be able to get that, to pass that out to the youth sports and the coaches to have it at the ready for our kids and for our parents. And for those that you never know. And if I could just save one life, I'm feeling good about that. Okay, that's huge for me. And for the folks that live in North Laverne, I got the study. Thank you, City Manager. I appreciate you for getting me the study here from the traffic engineer regarding that. I can be able to share that with you later on to discuss some of the points for the issues up in Esperanza as you head walk up north. You know, the crosswalk to be able to cross. It's really dangerous, and I get it. And I'm going to be able to see what we can do for the future, okay? So I want to address that point. And that is all, and God bless America, and God bless the U.S. Army. So darn.
Thank you, Councilmember Cash.
Thank you, sir.
Again, I want to thank Chief Nig for our new hiree, our Deputy Fire Chief, Brandon Coatney. He had to leave for me to get it right, I guess, huh? Just a little trailer on Councilmember Cash. Tomorrow, or it's, was it Wednesday the 4th? No, tomorrow. Tomorrow the 4th at Red Devil. Did you see Red Devil? Okay, Red Devil. 20% of the proceeds go to the Pink Patch project for the police department. So if you're there, that's takeout, dine in, whatever you want. Let's support our police department, but also support City of Hope. And also, again, Taste of Laverne is on the 19th. It's going to be a lot of fun over at Brackett Airfield in the helicopter hangar there. So we're going to have a lot of fun there. And we've got a lot of stuff coming up on the 15th. It's my son's birthday, my youngest. So I told him, I said, there's too much to do, so we'll have to figure out 2 or 3 things. We're going to get 5 minutes at each item. So, What's your thing? No, why don't you just come with us then? We'll just enjoy everything. So anyway, and we are getting into the season where the kids are going to be out. So again, be careful, be safe. Watch kids in the parking lot. Joe, Kathy. The kids were running in the parking lot, all the girls and the boys. They're trying to pull into their spot, and the kids were just running right in front of the car. I'm going, oh, my gosh. But anyway, there's going to be a lot of kids. There'll be a lot of kids out. We're going to have a lot of functions. Drive slow. Keep an eye on things. There's no reason to speed. The police are watching, and they will be watching. But I do appreciate everybody tonight, the teams that came on, Grace Napolitano, our staff. Great job. And we have a closed session tonight. Is that correct, Mr. Duff?
Yes, we do.
We will not be reporting out. Is that correct? No report out. So, let's see. Adjournment to closed session on Friday, October 7th, 2022, 9 o'clock a.m. for the council interview applications for... I'm sorry. It was at 8 a.m. It'll be 8 a.m. for applications for our new city manager. And then our next regular scheduled meeting, if I could say it, is Monday, October 17th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. And we'll recess into closed session at 7:26 p.m. Thank you.